Hello, driving theory test students. Do you know DVSA bus and coach PCV license theory test, vehicle condition? Let's go! Question 1. When should antifreeze be used in the cooling system? A. In winter only. B. All year round. C. In summer only. D. When starting from cold. The correct answer is B. Today, all water-cooled engines use a mixture of water and antifreeze to make up the coolant. As well as helping to keep the engine at its correct operating temperature, the antifreeze acts as a corrosion inhibitor to prolong the life of the cooling system. Question 2. What does this warning light on the instrument panel mean? A. Low fuel pressure. B. Low oil pressure. C. Low water pressure. D. Low air pressure. The correct answer is B. You should be familiar with all the warning lights fitted to your vehicle. The oil warning light indicates low oil pressure or lack of oil. If it lights up, report the fault and don't continue until it's been corrected. Question 3. A loud buzzer sounds in your vehicle. What's this most likely to indicate? A. Low oil pressure. B. Low air pressure. C. Low tyre pressure. D. Low fuel level. The correct answer is B. Warning buzzers are linked to many systems on modern vehicles, including the air brakes. A warning light on the dashboard may help you identify the system that's caused the problem. Stop in a safe place until the fault has been identified and put right. Get professional help if necessary. Question 4. Why are frequent tyre checks advisable on a triaxle double-deck vehicle? A. These tyres are more likely to deflate. B. Punctures can be difficult to detect. C. Blowouts are more common on these vehicles. D. Tyre pressures are difficult to maintain. The correct answer is B. On multi-axled vehicles, the inside wheels on the rear twin axle are the most difficult to check for punctures and damage. A deflated tyre will transfer the weight to the second tyre of the twin axle pair. This will overload it and could cause it to burst. Question 5. What can you add to diesel fuel to prevent it from becoming less effective at low temperatures? A. Antifreeze. B. Anti-waxing additives. C. Petrol. D. Paraffin. The correct answer is B. In extremely cold weather, you'll have to use diesel fuel with anti-waxing additives to stop the fuel lines from freezing up. During the winter months, these additives are usually put in by the fuel companies. Question 6. Wayne, what should you do if you notice that your coach's right rear indicator isn't working? A. Continue your journey using arm signals. B. Get it repaired before continuing. C. Get it repaired on your return to the depot. D. Get your passengers to their destination and then repair it. The correct answer is B. All lights must be in working order, even in daylight. A faulty right rear indicator could cause a serious incident if another motorist attempts to overtake as you change lanes or turn right. Question 7. Which tool is essential for fitting a road wheel? A. Torque wrench. B. Ring spanner. C. Open-end spanner. D. Adjustable wrench. The correct answer is A. It's essential that all wheel nuts are tightened to the specified torque with a calibrated torque wrench. The wheel nuts, fixings and markers should be checked every day before you start your journey. Question 8. You hit the curb at speed. What part of your vehicle should you check for damage? A. Exhaust. B. Brakes. C. Lights. D. Tires. The correct answer is C. Hitting the curb at speed can split the tyre or put the steering and suspension geometry out of alignment. Have it checked as soon as possible. A sudden puncture in a front tyre could result in a loss of steering control and a serious crash. Question 9. Your vehicle has broken down at night on a two-way road. How should you try to leave the vehicle? A. On the left of the road. B. Partly on the pavement. C. On a grass verge. D. On the right of the road. The correct answer is A. If your vehicle breaks down, try to stop on the left, facing in the same direction as the flow of traffic. This will help other drivers to see you, as your red reflectors will show to the rear. Don't stop on the pavement, as the weight of the vehicle may damage paving stones and underground services. Question 10. Why should you carry out a daily walk-round check before setting off? A. To check your route. B. To check for any parking violations. C. To check your schedule. D. To check for any defects. The correct answer is D. You have a legal responsibility to make sure that your vehicle is fully roadworthy. Daily walk-round checks give you the chance to look for any defects with your vehicle. Question 11. What could happen if there isn't enough oil in your engine? A. It may run faster. B. It may break down. C. It may use less fuel. D. It may produce more power. The correct answer is B. You should check your oil level regularly and pay attention to any oil warning devices. A damaged engine can be very expensive to mend. It could also cause sudden and unexpected loss of control, putting you and others in danger. If your engine seizes, you should make every effort to stop in a safe place. Question 12. You've stopped on a firm, level surface. What's the first thing you must do before you uncouple the trailer? A. Lower the trailer legs to the ground. B. Apply the parking brake. C. Release the brake air lines. D. Uncouple the electrical lines. The correct answer is B. Before leaving the cab, it's very important to secure the vehicle by applying the parking brake. After leaving the cab, apply the trailer parking brake. Question 13. Your coach is fully laden. What's the most likely reason for the steering feeling heavy? A. An icy road. B. A burst rear tyre. C. Faulty power steering. D. Too many passengers. The correct answer is C. All modern vehicles have some form of power-assisted steering, which will be able to cope with everything the vehicle requires. If the steering feels heavy, the power steering system could be faulty and needs to be checked before you continue your journey. Question 14. How can you check the age of a tyre fitted to your vehicle? A. The date of manufacture of each tyre is displayed in the cab. B. From the tachograph's tyre log. C. The date of tyre manufacture is shown on the tyre sidewall. D. From the tyre history on the vehicle plate. The correct answer is C. The date of tyre manufacture is shown on the tyre sidewall. It must always be legible. It's an offence to use a tyre where the marking is damaged or defaced. Question 15. When would you use kick down on a vehicle that has automatic transmission? A. To give quicker acceleration. B. To apply the emergency brakes. C. To stop more smoothly. D. To go down a steep hill. The correct answer is A. Depending on road speed. Pressing the accelerator pedal firmly to the floor will activate a switch that allows the gearbox to select a lower gear for improved acceleration. Question 16. At a Driver and Vehicle Standards Agency (DVSA) roadside check, your vehicle is found to have serious defects and you may no longer use it. Who will DVSA share this information with? A. The Driver and Vehicle Licensing Agency. B. The Traffic Commissioner. C. The Road Transport Industry Training Body. D. The Bus, Coach and Commercial Vehicle Council. The correct answer is B. DVSA and the police carry out frequent roadside checks of commercial vehicles. Where serious defects are found, the vehicle is taken out of use until they're put right. Details of the prohibition are shared with the Traffic Commissioner. Question 17. What's the most likely reason for a diesel-engined vehicle running erratically in very cold weather? A. The endurance brake engaging. B. The air conditioning not working. C. The speed limiter operating. D. The fuel partly solidifying. The correct answer is D. If diesel fuel becomes very cold, it can partially solidify. Additives are used by the fuel companies to try to prevent this. Any solidifying, waxing of the fuel can prevent it from flowing properly and cause the engine to run erratically or even stop. Question 18. You're driving a 3-axle double-deck bus. Why should you take extra care when using full steering lock? A. Passengers might alter the angle of tilt. B. The power steering might fail. C. You may damage the air suspension. D. You may scrub the rear tyres. The correct answer is D. Very low speed is advisable to reduce damage to the rearmost tyres when the vehicle is on full lock. When you're driving around tight corners, the rear wheels will follow a different path from the front wheels. You should be alert to anything the rear wheels or bodywork might strike. Question 19. Your vehicle suffers a tyre blowout. How could this create a hazard for other road users? A. Scattered debris. B. Skid marks. C. Suspension failure. D. Axle damage. Manuels. The correct answer is A. When a tyre explodes, fragments are thrown over a wide area. This can create a serious hazard for other drivers. You should regularly check your tyres for cuts, damage and pressure. Frequent checks and proper maintenance can help prevent a blowout. Question 20. What's the purpose of a preheating device? A. To heat the cab. B. To heat the gearbox. C. To heat the combustion chambers. D. To heat the seat. The correct answer is C. Most diesel engines have glow plugs to preheat the combustion chambers, so helping the engine to start when it's cold. When the ignition is switched on, the preheat warning lamp will show and the glow plugs will rapidly heat up. In cold weather, the starter should only be operated when the glow plugs reach operating temperature and the warning light goes out. Question 21. On motorways, you're usually driving at higher speeds for long distances. What effect can this have on your tyres? A. They'll be more likely to overheat and disintegrate. B. They'll have lower rolling resistance. C. They'll need less air pressure. D. They'll become very slippery. The correct answer is A. Driving at higher speeds and for longer periods, such as on motorways, can cause your tyres to overheat and disintegrate. You should make a point of checking them when you stop for a break. Question 22. Why should you check your tyres more frequently on a coach with 3 axles? A. Punctures can be more difficult to detect. B. Air pressure is more easily lost. C. The wheels will need balancing more often. D. You've no room for a spare wheel. The correct answer is A. Tyre checks should be made as a matter of routine. Inspect both the inside and outside walls, as well as the treads, for signs of wear, damage, bulges, separation, and exposed cords. Question 23. Why should your engine oil be changed at the recommended intervals? A. To reduce friction and wear. B. For better steering control. C. To prevent oil leaks. D. To improve clutch wear. The correct answer is A. The oil and filter will get dirty in normal use. If you follow the service interval guidance, your engine will remain protected and properly lubricated, making it less likely to break down. Question 24. A passenger tells you they've noticed that a wheel nut is missing from your bus. How often should you check your vehicle's wheel nuts? A. At the end of every week. B. At the start of every week. C. Every day before starting out. D. Only at every service interval. The correct answer is C. It's essential to make sure that all wheel nuts are tightened with a correctly calibrated torque wrench. The wheel nuts should be checked every day before you start your journey. If a passenger tells you they've noticed that a wheel nut is missing, check it immediately. If there's a problem, don't move off until it's been rectified. Question 25. What should you do if thick black smoke is coming from the exhaust of your vehicle? A. Continue on to the nearest garage. B. Return to your depot and report the problem. C. Stop in a safe place and get help. D. Drive slowly with your hazard warning lights on. The correct answer is C. Causing excessive smoke is an offence and could contribute to causing an incident or collision. You could also end up creating serious traffic problems if your vehicle breaks down in a difficult location. Question 26. You're checking your vehicle. What should you do if you discover an air leak in the braking system? A. Drive slowly to the nearest garage. B. Check the leak from time to time on your journey. C. Leave the vehicle parked and report the fault immediately. D. Start your journey and report the fault on your return. The correct answer is C. Under no circumstances should you attempt to move or drive a vehicle with an air leak in the braking system. Report the fault immediately or arrange to have it repaired. Place a warning sign in the cab telling other drivers not to drive the vehicle and why. Question 27. What's most likely to cause a burst tyre? A. Frequent gear changing in varying conditions. B. Running tyres underinflated. C. Always operating in cool weather. D. Mixing tyres with different tread depth. The correct answer is B. Tyres can become very hot during sustained high-speed driving. If they're underinflated or damaged, there's a risk they'll burst or disintegrate. Check for excessive heat when you stop for a break. Question 28. Where should you park your vehicle before checking the engine oil level? A. On sloping ground. B. On a steep gradient. C. On flat ground. D. On a downhill slope. The correct answer is C. If you check the engine oil level when your vehicle is standing on a slope, the reading on the dipstick won't be accurate. Park it on flat ground so the dipstick shows the true level. Question 29. The bus you're driving is fitted with automatic transmission. When would you use kickdown? A. When stopping in an emergency. B. When changing to a higher gear. C. When driving at slow speed. D. When needing brisk acceleration. The correct answer is D. The kickdown facility on automatic transmission allows a lower gear to be engaged to allow faster acceleration, for example, when overtaking. This is achieved by firmly pressing the accelerator to the floor. Question 30. While driving, your engine oil warning light comes on. Why could it be dangerous to continue driving? A. The brakes will fail. B. The engine may be damaged. C. You'll need to have the vehicle serviced. D. You'll need to replace the carburetor. The correct answer is B. Lack of oil could cause the engine to seize, and this could cause sudden and unexpected loss of control. You could break down in a dangerous position and put yourself and other road users at risk. Question 31. You notice that one of your tyres has a bulge in the side wall. What will happen if you drive the vehicle? A. Your tachograph reading won't be accurate. B. Your speedometer will give an incorrect reading. C. The vehicle will become unstable on corners. D. You'll break the law and risk prosecution. The correct answer is D. It's a legal requirement that your tyres have at least the minimum permitted depth of tread and are in good condition before you start any journey. Make sure that you inspect them before setting off and at regular intervals. Question 32. When should you check the wheel nuts on your vehicle? A. Before any journey. B. Only before long trips. C. Every 1,000 miles, 1,600 kilometers. D. Annually. The correct answer is A. Always have a walk round your vehicle and visually check the wheel nuts whenever you take a break. When a wheel is replaced, it's important to have the wheel nuts rechecked shortly after their initial tightening. Wheel nuts must always be tightened to the torque specified by the manufacturers. Question 33. What does this warning light on the instrument panel mean? A. Low oil pressure. B. Battery discharge. C. Braking system fault. D. Door open. The correct answer is C. You should be familiar with all warning lights and buzzers fitted to your vehicle. If you're driving the vehicle for the first time, make sure that you know the function of each. If the brake warning light shows a fault in the system, stop as soon as it's safe to do so. Report the fault and don't continue until it's been corrected. In question 34, what happens to diesel fuel when it gets hot? A. It expands. B. It liquefies. C. It shrinks. D. It waxes. The correct answer is A. On a hot day, the fuel in your tank will expand. If this happens when the tank has been filled to the brim, fuel will spill onto the road. This can be very dangerous or even fatal for other road users, especially motorcyclists. Allow for this expansion when filling your tank. Question 35. When should the driver of a coach wear gloves? A. To load and stow passengers' luggage. B. To operate a lift for disabled passengers. C. To handle the fares. D. To top up the oil or water levels. The correct answer is D. Even the best maintained vehicles accumulate a certain amount of grime around the engine. If this comes into contact with skin, it can cause irritation and may lead to conditions such as dermatitis. By wearing gloves, you can also keep your hands and cuffs clean to present a smart appearance to your customers. Question 36. When should you check the oil level in your engine? A. When the engine is running. B. When the engine is cold. C. When the engine is warm. D. When the engine is hot. The correct answer is B. Oil is vital for lubrication of the engine. It should be checked regularly and topped up as necessary. You should always check your engine's oil level when the engine is cold and your vehicle is parked on the level. Question 37. You're driving a six-wheel double-deck bus. 37. What do you need to know about punctures on the rear tyres? Question 37. They're much easier to detect. 37. B. They're more likely to happen. C. They're more difficult to detect. Question 37. D. They're less likely to happen. 37. You're driving a six-wheel double-deck bus. Question 37. What do you need to know about punctures on the rear tyres? Question 37. They're much easier to detect. 37. B. They're more likely to happen. 37. The correct answer is difficult to detect. The handling of a six-wheel less likely to happen. Not much different from that of a six-wheel double-deck bus. Question 37. What do you need to know about punctures on the rear tyres? Question 38. On your daily walk-round check, you see that one front tyre is more than 10 years old. What should you do before using the vehicle? A. Check the tyre pressure. B. Get the tyre replaced. C. Record the tyre's age on your log. D. Check the tread depth. The correct answer is B. It is illegal to use a tyre that's more than 10 years old on the front axle of a lorry, coach, bus or minibus. They must also not be used on the rear axle of a minibus unless as part of a twin-wheel arrangement. Question 39. You're driving a double-deck bus. What's the minimum depth of tread required over 3/4 of each tyre's width? A. 0.8 millimeters. B. 1 millimeter. C. 1.6 millimeters. D. 2 millimeters. The correct answer is B. It's essential that the tyres on your vehicle are in good condition. You must never forget that you have passengers on board. Their safety must be your priority. At no time should the depth of the tread be less than 1 millimeter over 3/4 of the width of the tyre. Question 40. Why do air tanks on brake systems need to be drained? A. To remove excess coolant. B. To remove rainwater that's seeped into the system. C. To remove any oil leaks that collect here. D. To remove moisture drawn in from the atmosphere. The correct answer is D. Moisture in the air condenses as the air pressure increases. This moisture can be transmitted around the braking system and is especially dangerous in cold weather. It can lead to ice forming and blocking the valves and pipes. Question 41. What do heated fuel lines prevent? A. The cab temperature from dropping. B. The radiator from freezing. C. The windows from misting. D. The diesel from solidifying. The correct answer is D. In cold weather, diesel fuel can solidify as it starts to freeze. This is known as waxing. Waxing prevents the fuel from flowing properly, and this can stop the engine from running. Question 42. What must vehicle operators provide for their drivers? A. A system for reporting vehicle defects. B. A daily update on all motorway hold-ups. C. A hands-free mobile communications system. D. A fuel-saving incentive scheme. The correct answer is A. The operator must have a system in place so that drivers can report defects and have them repaired properly. Question 43. C. Before starting a journey, you want to check your brake system warning lights. What can you do when these aren't operated by the ignition switch? A. Look for a check switch on the dashboard. B. Get someone behind to check your brake lights. C. Check them at the end of your journey. D. Pump the brake pedal a number of times. The correct answer is A. A warning lights check is sometimes performed automatically when the ignition is switched on. However, you may need to do this manually by operating a separate check switch. Never start a journey without carrying out this check. If there's a problem, have it repaired before you set off. Question 44. How can vehicle breakdowns be reduced? A. By driving slowly. B. By regular servicing. C. By regular cleaning. D. By avoiding bad weather. The correct answer is B. Following the vehicle manufacturer's guidelines for service intervals will enable worn components to be replaced before they fail. This will help prevent costly breakdowns. Question 45. How frequently should a driver carry out a walk-round check? A. Daily. B. Weekly. C. Every 100 miles. D. Every 1,000 miles. The correct answer is A. Drivers should carry out a walk-round check daily as part of a routine. They have a legal responsibility to take all reasonable precautions to ensure that legal requirements are met before they drive any vehicle. Question 46. What could happen if you overfill your engine with oil? A. Loss of power. B. Lower emissions. C. Better handling. D. Longer service intervals. The correct answer is A. If the engine contains too much oil, the moving parts can hit the oil surface, causing a loss of power or even damage to the engine. Excess pressure may damage oil seals, causing oil to leak onto the road, creating a slippery and dangerous road surface. Question 47. A tyre has been replaced on your vehicle. What precautions should be taken when tightening the wheel nuts? A. Tighten the nuts in a clockwise direction. B. Fully tighten each nut before moving to the next. C. Tighten the nuts evenly with a torque wrench. D. Tighten the nuts with an air-operated power tool. The correct answer is C. When a wheel is refitted, the wheel nut studs should be tightened gradually and diagonally across the wheel. You should tighten the nuts to the specified torque setting using a calibrated torque wrench. Question 48. What proportion of the width of a tyre must have at least the legal minimum depth of tread? A. 1/4, B. 1/2, C. 5/8, D. 3/4. The correct answer is D. Keeping your vehicle's tyres in good condition will give them a good grip on the road and will improve the vehicle's overall stability. Each tyre must have at least the minimum legal depth of tread across 3/4 of its width. Renew tyres well before they wear to less than that. Question 49. You're driving a coach that is towing a trailer. What should you do before uncoupling your trailer? A. Disconnect the battery. B. Park on a firm, level surface. C. Park in a well-lit location. D. Unload some of the cargo. The correct answer is B. Before uncoupling a trailer, always make sure that you've parked on firm, level ground and applied the trailer parking brake. Question 50. What would be illegal? A. Using different makes of tyre on the same axle. B. Using a tyre with a recut tread. C. Using a tyre with a tread depth of 1.3 millimeters. D. Using a tyre with exposed ply or cord. The correct answer is D. You should check your tyres as part of your routine check of the vehicle. A damaged tyre, such as one with exposed ply, can have a major effect on your vehicle's handling and will make it a danger to you and other road users. Question 51. You've had to change a wheel on your vehicle. When should the wheel nuts be checked again? A. At the next service interval. B. When they're cold. C. When they're hot. D. Shortly afterwards. The correct answer is D. When refitting a wheel, the nuts should be tightened to the correct torque. They should be rechecked after about 30 minutes if the vehicle hasn't moved, or after 40 to 80 kilometers, 25 to 50 miles of driving. Question 52. What should you do if you notice that 2 wheel nuts are missing from one of the wheels on your vehicle? A. Continue your journey. B. Drive to the nearest tyre depot. C. Use a nut from another wheel. D. Park and phone for assistance. The correct answer is D. If you notice any missing wheel nuts, park and phone for assistance. It's essential that all wheel fixings are in place and tightened to the torque specified by the manufacturer. Checks should be made before you start any journey, but make a visual check every time you start up again after a rest stop. Question 53. Why should you use an approved coolant solution in your engine's cooling system? A. To protect the coolant from freezing. B. For easier starting from cold. C. To prevent the air tank from freezing. D. For effective cab heating. The correct answer is A. Coolant solution is also known as anti-freeze. It provides protection from freezing and also contains a corrosion inhibitor that prolongs the life of the cooling system. Remember to check the coolant level regularly. Question 54. What will happen if you follow a regular vehicle maintenance schedule? A. It will reduce breakdowns. B. It will increase fuel bills. C. It will allow heavier loads to be carried. D. It will reduce insurance premiums. The correct answer is A. You can reduce the chance of a breakdown with routine maintenance and regular checks on your vehicle. Question 55. You're about to start a long journey midway through the day. What should you do if you notice that the side lights work but the headlights are faulty? A. Don't drive until they're repaired. B. Drive only until the light begins to fade. C. Avoid driving on motorways after dark. D. Drive only if the weather is good. The correct answer is A. To comply with the law, all lights must be in good working order, even in daylight, when they're not being used. Before you set out, make sure that everything is working and get any faulty lights fixed. You may need to use your headlights or other lights if you're delayed or find yourself driving in conditions of reduced visibility. Question 56. What does it mean if the ignition warning light comes on while you're driving? A. The oil pressure is low. B. There's an electrical fault. C. The air pressure is low. D. There's a hydraulic fault. The correct answer is B. The ignition light should go out when the engine has started. If it fails to go out or comes on while you're driving, it means that there's an electrical fault of some kind. Question 57. You're checking your vehicle's tyres before starting a long motorway journey. What check should be made on each tyre? A. Air pressure. B. Tracking. C. Valve clearance. D. Tyre profile. The correct answer is A. All tyres must be properly inflated and in good condition. Tyre failure on a motorway can have serious consequences. This can be avoided by checking your tyres at the start of each journey. Question 58. Why is it important to avoid overfilling the engine with oil? A. It could leave an oil stain on the road. B. It will increase the amount of exhaust gases. C. It could increase pressure in the engine and cause damage. D. It will damage the exhaust system. The correct answer is C. Too much oil in an engine can be just as bad as too little. Overfilling an engine can create excess pressure, cause oil leakage through seals and result in expensive damage. Question 59. What's the most likely cause if your steering starts to feel heavy? A. Faulty power steering. B. An icy road. C. A burst rear tyre. D. A wet road. The correct answer is A. Modern large vehicles are fitted with power-assisted steering. If the steering feels heavy, then there's likely to be a fault, which should be investigated and repaired as soon as possible. Question 60. Where does a high-pressure fuel injector deliver fuel? A. Into the carburetors. B. Into the combustion chamber. C. Into the manifold. D. Into the crankcase. The correct answer is B. Most diesel engines use a high-pressure fuel injector system that will deliver pressurized fuel directly into the combustion chamber of the engine. This system is known as a direct injection engine. Question 61. What should you do if the brake pedal becomes hard to press? A. Continue to drive and report it at the end of the day. B. Pump the brake pedal continuously. C. Drain the air tanks and then continue. D. Park and phone for help. The correct answer is D. As soon as you detect a fault on your vehicle, you must take action. Where faulty brakes are concerned, you need to seek help immediately. Always report minor faults as soon as you detect them. Minor faults can become major ones if they aren't repaired quickly. Question 62. You're driving along a motorway. What should you do if the air pressure warning device starts to operate? A. Stop immediately in the lane you're in. B. Continue slowly to the next service area. C. Stop on the hard shoulder as soon as possible. D. Leave the motorway at the next exit. The correct answer is C. If the air pressure warning activates, you should have enough air to allow you to stop safely on the hard shoulder. Don't delay stopping, as further loss of air may cause the brakes to lock on. Switch on the hazard warning lights. Use the nearest emergency telephone to call for assistance. Question 63. Your steering suddenly becomes heavy to turn. What could make this happen? A. An uneven road surface. B. A loss of air brake pressure. C. A faulty parking brake. D. A fault with the power-assisted steering. The correct answer is D. If the steering becomes heavy, the power-assisted steering may have failed. It's also possible that your vehicle has a puncture or the load might have shifted. You should stop safely, investigate the cause and call for help if necessary. Question 64. You discover that one of your rear brake light bulbs has failed. How soon should it be replaced? A. Immediately. B. On return to your base. C. Within 5 days. D. At the next service. The correct answer is A. Bulbs should be replaced as soon as you're aware that they've failed. Carry a stock of all the various bulbs used on your vehicle so you can repair a fault without delay. Question 65. What could happen if you overfill your engine with oil? A. The handling may improve. B. Exhaust emissions could be reduced. C. Some gaskets might be damaged. D. You could wait longer before the next service. The correct answer is C. If you overfill the engine with oil, you could cause the engine to build up too much pressure when it's running. This could cause damage to oil seals and gaskets. Question 66. What should you regularly check on the tyres of your bus? A. The tyre manufacturer's details are displayed. B. The tyre pressures are all correct. C. The dust caps are all in place. D. The tread depths are equal on all tyres. The correct answer is B. Tyre care is especially important. You should routinely check tyre pressures and general tyre condition. An unroadworthy vehicle will endanger the lives of your passengers. Question 67. The Driver and Vehicle Standards Agency, DVSA, and the police carry out spot checks for faulty vehicles. What will happen to the vehicle if serious defects are found? No. A. It will be impounded until a new driver is found. B. It will be restricted to 30 miles per hour for the remainder of the journey. C. It will be prohibited from further use until the defects are rectified. D. It will be ordered back to the depot to unload goods or passengers. The correct answer is C. DVSA, or the police can order an immediate prohibition. The vehicle may be immobilised and you won't be able to drive it until the faults have been rectified. Details are notified to the traffic commissioner. Never use a vehicle that you know is faulty. Question 68. Your coach often tows a trailer. How often should you check the trailer tyres for pressure? A. At least once a week when they're cold. B. At least once a month when they're hot. C. At least once a week when they're hot. D. At least once a month when the trailer is fully laden. The correct answer is A. Just like your bus tyres. Your trailer tyres must be in good condition. You might not tow a trailer on every journey you make, but when you do, check the trailer tyres while they're cold and make sure they're suitable for the load they'll carry. Question 69. What will result from having overinflated tyres? A. You'll have improved acceleration. B. The tyres will wear more quickly. C. The tyres will give better grip. D. The fuel consumption will be reduced. The correct answer is B. Your tyres must be in good condition and properly inflated to the manufacturer's recommended pressure. Research has shown that the tyres most likely to fail are those that have been overinflated. Question 70. I. In very cold weather, moisture can freeze in your vehicle's air storage tanks. What can you do to help prevent this from happening? A. Cover the air tanks with a blanket. B. Drain the tanks daily. C. Use the brakes frequently. D. Pump the brakes. The correct answer is B. In very cold weather, moisture in the storage tanks can freeze. Ice can form in the pipes, and this will result in loss of pressure, which could cause brake failure. Make sure that you drain the tanks daily as part of a routine. Most modern vehicles are fitted with automatic bleed valves. Check that they're working properly and that air drying systems are effective. Question 71. Before each journey, you should check all warning lights. What should you do if a warning light remains lit? A. Report the fault when you return. B. Have the fault checked before setting off. C. Have the fault checked at the next service. D. Ignore it until the fault shows up. The correct answer is B. Many buses and coaches have a large panel of warning lights on the dashboard. A system check built into the ignition system will allow you to check that all the warning light bulbs are working before you start your journey. If a warning light stays on, there's a fault. Have it checked before continuing. Remember, your passengers' lives are in your hands. Question 72. You're driving a 3-axle double-deck bus and have the steering turned onto full lock. What should you do to avoid rear tyre scrub? A. Use the highest gear possible. B. Drive at a very low speed. C. Apply the exhaust brake, retarder. D. Reduce the pressure in the rear tyres. The correct answer is B. When turning tight corners, allow for the course the wheels will take. A very low speed is advisable when the steering is on full lock. This is to minimize any scrubbing effect on the rear tyres. Question 73. What should you do if your power-assisted steering fails suddenly? A. Continue driving to the nearest repair centre. B. Return to the depot. C. Continue your journey at a slower speed. D. Park and get help. The correct answer is D. Faulty power steering will make your steering wheel very difficult or almost impossible to turn. Continuing to drive could cause danger to you and other road users. You should park safely and get help.